Ba-ba-ba-doo. Hello and happy Thursday. Welcome in, everybody. I am Dean the Turkey Legster, and welcome to Once Upon a Turkey Leg. I see a few people in the chat already waiting for me. I went down the social media rabbit hole. I was looking at a few things on Instagram, and then I realized I needed to run and do a couple quick things, grab some water. So I'm a few minutes late, but that's all right. Let me say hello to the peoples. I know Mike Cabral was in here a little earlier. Dawn, Disney Magic, and Chat with the Turkey Legster could make my Thursday more magical. I don't know. Mandy Adams, hello. The Checking Bones is Dawn. Hello, Dawn. There's this guy, Dean the Turkey Legster. Oh, that's me. Right. Carol Karki, hello. Microphone back. Hi, Mike and Diana. Let me highlight this comment. I need to talk about this for a minute. John, the Checking Bones says, need to reach the Turkey Legster. Get on the hotline 407-900-6201. You see it right there. That's a special number I kind of created. I don't know if just intention for a minute. Can you guys hear me? I just realized my microphone is left. Hello, guys. Can you hear me after the mic check? Can you hear me? Yeah, Mike, that's because I had this microphone unplugged and I was going off with the computer. If you're still having bad quality, oh, that's better. Okay. So I won't complete that sentence. Anyway, up above, I have I've got what was I saying? Oh, so Don put, need to reach the Turkey Legster, get on the hotline 407 900-6201. That will put you through to the official Turkey Legster phone. And I do prefer text, but you can call it. So I'll just mention that. If you want to get a hold of me, it's a way to get a hold of me outside of like Instagram or waiting for a chat, a stream. Princess Paula Bell, hello, welcome in. So because I'm already late, so let me go ahead and get started on, let me take that off of there. Let me go ahead and get started. Last week, let me adjust this. Okay. Last week, I read a couple of Disney dog stories. So this week, we are going to give some love to Disney cats. And I have got 2 stories, as I do every week, as I do every week. 2 stories featuring Disney cats. So the first story tonight is the Aristocats. So here we go. We are going to read The Aristocats. Okay. Long ago, in the beautiful city of Paris, lived a kind, wealthy lady and her family of cats. There was Duchess, the mother cat, and her three darling and sometimes mischievous kittens, Toulouse, Marie, and Berlioz. Madame Adelaide Bonfamille loved sharing her beautiful home with Duchess and the kittens. They were served the very best food on silver trays. They even slept in their own canopied bed in Madame's room. These were no ordinary cats. They were aristocats. I do too, Paula. I do too. Toulouse was a talented painter. Berlioz liked to play the grand piano, and Marie planned to be a great singer someday. Madame loved her cats so much that she wanted to make sure they would enjoy the good life even after she was gone. So one day she asked her lawyer to visit. I simply want to make my will, she said. She wished to leave her entire fortune to her beloved cats for as long as they lived. Oh, for as long as they lived, they would be cared for by Edgar, her faithful butler. When the cats were gone, her fortune would go to him. Downstairs, Edgar the butler was listening to every word through a speaking tube in his room. He was quite distressed that he would have to wait for the cats to die before he got any money. Cats inherit first, and I come after the cats, he muttered. It's not fair. That evening, Edgar stirred sleeping pills into the cat's milk. Your favorite dish, said Edgar, setting down the bowls, prepared a very special way. Creme de la creme a la Edgar. The cats and their friend Roquefort, the mouse, lapped up every drop. The cats just managed to stagger to their basket before they fell into a deep sleep. Yes, very greedy. As soon as Madame was in bed, Edgar sneaked the cats out of the house to take them to the countryside and leave them. But Edgar's plans were spoiled. Just outside Paris, two dogs jumped out, barking and snarling, giving Edgar a terrible fright. As he swerved, the basket of sleeping cats tumbled out of the sidecar, and Edgar sped off, leaving the basket cats behind. Mm. When the cats awoke, they found themselves in the rain near a bridge. How had they gotten there? They wondered. Toulouse had had a dream. Edgar was in it, he said. and we were all riding and bouncing along. Then he looked around him and added, "It wasn't a dream. Edgar did this to us." "What's gonna happen to us?" asked Berlioz. Duchess sighed. "Poor Madame, she'll be worried when she finds us gone." I would too, Paula. I definitely would too. The next morning, the cats crawled out of the basket. As Duchess wondered what to do, an alley cat strolled by and introduced himself as Abraham de Lacy, Giuseppe Casey, Giuseppe, Giuseppe Casey, Thomas O'Malley, the alley cat. He gave a friendly smile when he saw Duchess and the kittens, and they smiled back at him. Thomas O'Malley, O'Malley the alley cat. When they told O'Malley they were lost, he offered to help them get back to Paris. Duchess and the kittens were very grateful for his help. "Poor Madame, in that big mansion all alone," said Duchess softly. "She'd always say that we were the greatest treasure she could own." All that day and into the night, the little band of cats, Duchess, Marie, Toulouse, Berlioz, and O'Malley, trudged on toward Paris. Duchess and the kittens were used to riding in carriages, not walking along country roads and across rooftops. By the time they reached Paris, they were exhausted. "Mama, I'm tired," whined Marie. "Me too, and my feet hurt," said Berlioz. "I bet we walked 100 miles," sighed Toulouse. It was still a long way to Madame's mansion. So O'Malley invited Duchess and the kittens to stay at his house. But when they got there, they found that O'Malley already had visitors. A group of alley cats, led by O'Malley's friend Scat Cat, were playing jazz music. The whole building was swinging to the beat. The kittens forgot about being tired and joined in the fun. Berlioz helped play the old piano. Toulouse, Toulouse kept time to the music, and Marie sang at the top of her voice. Even Duchess couldn't resist joining in. She and O'Malley danced happily until midnight. That's right. Everybody wants to be a cat. Oh, hallelujah, everybody. Everybody wants to be a cat. Boop, boop, boop. Later, after the jazz band left, O'Malley and Duchess sat together in the moonlight, looking over the rooftops of Paris. O'Malley told Duchess that he wished she and the kittens could stay. You know, they need well, a sort of well, a father around. Duchess wished she could stay too, but she had to think of Madame. I'm sorry, my dear, she told O'Malley, sadly. We just have to go home tomorrow. Uh, they might have, Paula. I don't know that off the top of my head. But there's a very good chance that the Sherman Brothers did write that song. The next morning, O'Malley escorted Duchess and the kittens home to Madame's house. As the kittens scampered ahead, Duchess and O'Malley stopped at the gate to say goodbye. I'll never forget you, Thomas O'Malley, said Duchess fondly. Okay, looks like I had a spinning circle there for a second. Let me know when you can see me again. Gotta love the lag. Everybody, everybody, everybody wants to be a cat. Everybody, everybody. Oh, I'm good again. Thank you, Carol. Okay. As the kittens scampered ahead, Duchess and O'Malley stopped at the gate to say goodbye. I'll never forget you, Thomas O'Malley, said Duchess fondly. Hi, Amy. Welcome in. Meanwhile, Edgar was in the kitchen when suddenly he heard the sound of kittens meowing at the front door. It can't be them, he exclaimed. As the cats came through the door, a sack came down over their heads. You came back, Edgar muttered. It just isn't fair. Edgar took the sack out to the barn and put it in a trunk that was being sent to Timbuktu. But Roquefort the mouse saw everything. He dashed outside to tell O'Malley. Duchess and the kittens are in trouble? Said O'Malley. Look, you go get Scat Cat and the Alley Cats, he told them. He told Roquefort how to find them, and then he set off for the mansion. Mm-hmm. By the time Roquefort returned, Edgar had trapped O'Malley in the barn with a pitchfork. The alley cats stormed in, hissing, biting, and scratching. While the cats dealt with Edgar, O'Malley helped Duchess and the kittens out of the trunk. And then the horse kicked Edgar into that stuffy trunk just as the delivery men arrived. Now Edgar was on his way to Timbuktu. Yup, we're sending him on out of here. Madame Bonfamille was thrilled to have Duchess and the kittens back. She was also delighted to meet O'Malley. I think this young man is very handsome, she said to Duchess. Shall we keep him in the family? Madame decided to set up a home for all the homeless alley cats of Paris. From then on, all cats would be treated as special, wonderful aristocrats. And that is the end of the Aristocats. All right, before I move on to the second story, I'm going to go in here and check out the poll. There's a poll at the top. And it looks like the question is, do you think everybody wants to be a cat? And we have 67% say yes, 33% says no. So if you have not voted in that poll, and then let me know. Do you think everybody wants to be a cat? Welcome into Amy, Paula, Diana, Carol. I think I said hi to everyone else. Yeah. Okay. Boom. Okay, so let me go ahead and get my next storybook out. Oh, this book's heavy. I am once again returning for the first time in a long time to this storybook collection. This is the Disney Animals Storybook Collection for our second Disney cat story. We are reading one of the cutest cats in Disney, I think, from Disney's Pinocchio, Figaro's Day Out. Figaro scowled at Pinocchio from the corner. Ever since the Blue Fairy had brought the puppet to life, things had changed. Before, Figaro had slept in Geppetto's bed. He had eaten all his meals beside the woodcarver, and he had been the one Geppetto told his stories to. But now it seemed like Geppetto only had time for Pinocchio. Paula, I will talk about that at the end of the story. And hello, Tim. Welcome in. Suddenly, a dragonfly flew past Figaro's nose. The kitten chased the bug through the cottage and out the front door. But before he could get his paw on it, the dragonfly flew out of reach. Just then, Figaro heard a voice. Here, kitty, kitty, kitty. Here, kitty, kitty, kitty. Figaro happily trotted across the street to where a little girl stood with her mother. If Geppetto didn't have time for him, he'd get his snuggles somewhere else. Oh, aren't you just the sweetest little kitty? The girl said. I'm Victoria. I wish I could keep playing with you, but it's time for me to go home. Giving Figaro one last rub between the eyes, the girl stood up, and she and her mother walked away. Keeping his eyes on the girl, Figaro followed behind, weaving down street after street. Finally, Victoria and her mother reached a small building. Figaro tried to follow them inside, but the girl's mother stopped him. Oh, please, Mamma, Victoria pleaded. I'll take good care of him. You know my rule, she said. No animals. I'm sorry, Kitty, Victoria said. I'm not allowed to have pets. You go on home now. Figaro looked around. He had been so focused on following the girl that he hadn't paid attention to where he was walking. He realized he had no idea where he was. Nothing looked familiar. How was he going to find his way home if he didn't know where he was? Oh no. Figaro began to walk, but soon it started to rain. Figaro thought about the last time he'd been so wet. He had been outside playing while Pinocchio and Geppetto did their shopping, when suddenly it had started to rain. By the time the two got home, the poor kitten was shivering. Pinocchio had carried him inside and dried him off with a warm blanket. I don't know if you can see this picture very well. It's kind of a dark picture with the Figaro there. Okay. Suddenly, the little kitten's stomach began to grumble. It must be dinner time. A little way down the road, Figaro spotted a market. Looking up at a fish seller, he meowed loudly. But the man just swatted him away. Off you go, he said, brushing Figaro aside with a broom. Find your food somewhere else. Figaro's stomach growled again. It seemed that he might be going to sleep hungry. At the thought of sleep, Figaro yawned. Perhaps it would be best to find a place to spend the night. But everywhere Figaro tried to rest, was already taken. He was chased out of a dark alley by an angry cat. Or by an angry cat. In the park, a pack of vicious dogs snarled and barked at him until he ran away. And under the bridge, he was hurried off by a family of ducks. Spotting an empty step in front of a shop, Figaro laid down and put his head on his paws. The little kitten began to whimper. He had never been so cold, so hungry, so tired, or so lonely in his whole life. As he tried to get comfortable, Figaro thought of Pinocchio. Pinocchio had set up a nice spot near the fireplace for Figaro and even saved his allowance for a cozy blanket. Figaro started to feel bad for being angry with Pinocchio. The next morning, Figaro awoke to the sound. Oh wait, Figaro awoke to the sound of someone calling his name. There you are! There you are!" Pinocchio cried. "Father and I have been looking for you all night." Suddenly Pinocchio noticed that the little kitten was shivering. "Oh, you're freezing," he said. "Come along. We'd best get you home at once." Back at the woodcarver's workshop, Geppetto built up the fire and settled Figaro in his warm bed beside the fireplace. Pinocchio gave the kitten a big bowl of cream and a plate of fish. "There now," Pinocchio said. "You should be feeling better in no time." Geppetto smiled at his son. "You take such good care of Figaro. There's nothing left for me to do for him. You certainly love him, don't you?" Pinocchio sat down beside the kitten and began to pet him. "Oh, Figaro," he said, "what would we have done if we lost you? We do love you so." Figaro looked up at the boy, surprised. That was the first time Pinocchio had ever said he loved Figaro. But as Figaro thought of all the nice things Pinocchio had done for him, he realized the boy had been showing the kitten his love all along. Nuzzling Pinocchio, Figaro snuggled up on the boy's lap, warm, dry, and with his belly full of food. The kitten began to drift off to sleep. Perhaps, he thought, Pinocchio wasn't so bad after all. In fact, having another person love him sounded just fine to Figaro, and he realized he was starting to love the boy too. And that is the end of Figaro's Day Out. And oh, thank you, Paula. Um, yes, I do. I hope you enjoy. First of all, I hope you enjoyed the story. Very fun story there with another cute Disney cat, Disney kitten. Um, so Paula said earlier, mentioned about this. Did you all see the new Pinocchio trailer that dropped yesterday? I did. I saw the new Pinocchio trailer, which is one reason I picked that Figaro story, so I can mention they did release yesterday a new trailer for the new live action Pinocchio that will be coming out. It's actually going to be coming out on September the 8th, which is Disney Plus Day this year. It will be coming to Disney Plus. Um, I'm looking forward to seeing that, to seeing what they do with the story. Um, so, anyway, you're welcome, Diana. Let me come back to the poll and see what we ended up at. Everybody wants to be. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. I'm still singing though. So the question was, do you think everybody wants to be a cat? So we've got yes wins with 75% of the vote, and no has 25% of the vote. So I'm going to end the poll. Thank you, everyone, for voting in that. 12 votes. All right. Thank you, everyone, for voting. So anyway, with that, that is tonight's stream. I believe, let me just triple check. Mr. Tennessee Bear has gone live with his stream, The Pursuit of Happiness. But for me and this channel, I'll be back next Thursday with more stories, and I'll be back Tuesday with Newsflash Disney, looking at some of the news around Disney World. Good night, everyone. Yes, everyone who's watching live, thank you for coming in. It's been great having you. If you're watching the replay, let me know with a little, just a hashtag team replay is fine, or whatever you think of you can let me know what you think of the stream. And I try to respond to all the comments with at least, the heart. But I try to also reply to the comments if I can, or, respond to them. So with that, have a great, wonderful, gobbletastic Thursday night. Take care, and remember to always follow the habit.